Welcome back to Get Down to Business, this show all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. I've got a treat in store for you. I've got a husband and wife duo, Stephanie and Ethan Bull, who have a thriving family and a growing seven-figure business called Pro Assisting, and most recently, a fantastic new read, the 29-hour Workday. I'm so excited to talk all about that. Stephanie, Ethan, welcome to the program. Thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks so much for having us.
Absolutely. So I love to first get to know the people behind the microphone. I believe, if I understand correctly from your story, that both of you have served as executive assistants for a little while before becoming entrepreneurs. Tell me a little bit about that experience.
Yeah, so I primarily worked in finance and fashion. I worked for two multi-billion-dollar hedge funds. I worked for the CEO directly as an executive assistant / chief of staff in that role. And I also had a very brief stint in the fashion world where I worked for the CEO of J. Crew. So that is where most of my experience lies.
Wow. Amazing. That's great experience. And I know it's led to you and, of course, Ethan, developing Pro Assisting, which I really want to hear some more about, because you are obviously you got married, I understand, in 2007. You've got wonderful children, but now you're joining forces and making a difference in helping other CEOs, boards of directors, and entrepreneurs. So, Ethan, tell us a little bit about Pro Assisting and what led you to launch this new venture.
Well, thanks again for having us. After spending 20 years in New York City and our second son came along, we decided to move outside of New York City to upstate New York, and quickly realized that the term executive assistant as we knew it, really being that single point of contact / Swiss Army knife for our principals, was a little bit different in these smaller markets. And what we also saw was that there was a gap between what a virtual assistant provides compared to a full-time assistant. And we felt that there was an opportunity to kind of fill that gap with a remote fractional executive assistant service. We actually partner with top-level executive assistants who could command six-figure salaries in major metropolitan areas. We partner them fractionally with business owners, entrepreneurs, non-executive board directors, as you mentioned. And we compensate them appropriately and let them do their work. That's kind of where we've positioned our business.
Awesome. And I know that there are other services that are out there. There's certainly a lot of folks, if you go on one of these sites, you're searching for an executive assistant, you can find somebody. So what's the unique value proposition? Why are you guys better than all the rest?
Well, through our careers, we've led teams of assistants, and we are very good at identifying talent based on, first and foremost, their hard experience on the resume, but a little bit more importantly, their interpersonal skills, work ethic, emotional intelligence. And frankly, we are compensating them the highest in the remote support space. So these partner executive assistants want to work with us, stay working with us and their clients. And, our clients place trust in us in knowing that we're going to identify excellent talent. And we also work off of a 3-to-1 executive to assistant ratio, which limits the number of clients they have to 3, a maximum. And that provides Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, full service support.
That's awesome. And certainly those executives get a ton in return. And we've talked about this many times on the program, having the right support enables you to be as effective and do what you do best. So no question about it. So I have to ask about the dynamic of, between the two of you. Again, I'm chatting with Ethan and Stephanie. You have a wonderful home. You've got 2 wonderful sons. But working together, I know you both have your unique skills that you bring to the table. So Stephanie, what is it that you primarily focus on, and what is it that Ethan that you bring to the table?
Well, we kind of like to say that we each have a lane, and the lanes do intersect frequently, but my lane is keeping everything at the house alive. So that means I mostly focus on the kids and our big puppy. And I do still, I have two clients of my own, but Ethan tends to focus more on the development of the business, the sales, and also vetting most of our executive assistant candidates.
He's the hustle, and you're the sustain.
Exactly.
I love that. I love that. That's great, and certainly your clients benefit from the stability that you provide, Stephanie. I know that for sure. We're going to talk about the 29-hour work week when we come back after a very quick break over here. But I'd be curious to know about any unique industries or any unique trends that you're seeing right now in terms of where you and your amazing team at Pro Assisting have been able to assist.
I'll just say that we really view the executive assistant role at the top level of being industry agnostic as well as principal agnostic. So the industries we cover is pretty much everything, which makes it a little hard in terms of exactly defining what we do. But if you think of it from the other direction, a great executive assistant could work in finance, could work in healthcare, could work in publishing. It's all about really forming that know, like, and trust relationship with their client. And once that's formed, the industry knowledge, the interpersonal relationship just builds naturally from there. In
Awesome.
terms of what we're seeing, a lot of AI is coming down the pipe and really
For sure.
breathing
Well,
down
maybe
our
we'll be able to get to that in just a moment. A quick break here on the show all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. We're going to talk about the 29-hour workday in just a moment. Welcome back to Get Down to Business. I'm continuing my conversation with Stephanie and Ethan Bull, who, as you can probably imagine, are a wonderful couple. But they have launched Pro Assisting, which originated from their full-time careers as executive assistants. And now they are really taking it to assist entrepreneurs, business owners all over the world, including folks like you, our amazing listeners, and we'll get you in touch with them in just a moment. So Stephanie and Ethan, again, thanks for joining us on the program. I alluded to this right before the break, but you didn't have enough in your life between those two children, the big puppy, and of course, a thriving 7-figure business. So you decided to spend some time and write the 29-hour workday. Tell us a little bit about that.
You know, we really felt that we had a wealth of knowledge about how a principal can really leverage great executive assistant support, how to find that support, and how to nurture it. And so the 29-hour workday is basically an instruction manual for high performers on how to get the most out of their relationship with an executive assistant, either if they've never used one before or they want to make sure they're getting the most out of the relationship that they do have.
So what's the most important takeaway? You know, we air this show on Sundays, and I always love that because it gives people homework assignments and some next steps for the week ahead. What would you like to see our entrepreneurs and listeners on Get Down to Business put into action in the week ahead?
I would say just try to put trust in the people that you work with, in your current assistant, or as you think about, perhaps hiring someone. Know that they have capability and they're probably yearning for some more responsibility, and just try to hand that trust over. It can be really difficult for type A personalities, I am one of them, to sort of delegate and think about what someone else could take off their plate, but know that that person is probably more than capable and will also come up with ways organically as you work longer together to find ways to save you time.
And you guys are masters at balancing the personal and professional, and perhaps that's why the book is called the 29-hour workday. Like you said, Stephanie, when you are able to prioritize, to delegate, you can accomplish that much more. But I mean, was there an aha moment for you when you realized, gosh, we can both by bringing on talent, but also in prioritizing that you've been able to make that difference in your personal and professional careers?
I honestly, I just think in the beginning we were kind of finding our way in the dark, if you will. We weren't used to being entrepreneurs. We were W-2 employees, and so it was a learning curve. But we welcomed it, and it is interesting how being an entrepreneur is different in that even when things are going great, you can still be stressed. And so Stephanie and I constantly work on our communication to make sure we're both on the same page and moving in the right direction. And frankly, it's been a lot of fun, and it's really strengthened our relationship.
That's awesome. Well, Stephanie and Ethan, both, thank you so much for joining us on the program. I know our listeners will want to get in touch with Pro Assisting as well as find a copy of the new book, The 29-Hour Workday. Where can we do that? And where can we get in touch?
Well, both Stephanie and I are active on LinkedIn. Stephanie Bull, Ethan Bull under LinkedIn, and our website proassisting.com has a tab for our book, but also explains our fractional remote executive assistant service.
Well, really appreciate you joining us on the program and sharing your expertise with our listeners. I look forward to bringing you back on as you continue to share best practices, but hopefully our listeners will get in touch with you and your team at Pro Assisting so you can maximize your effectiveness, your ability to make a difference, and definitely lots of homework assignments and takeaways over there. That's a wrap for us here on the show, all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. Get on my website, shalomklein.com. Subscribe, rate, review, and share on your favorite podcast app. It's a success. Let's get down to business.